Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Droopy Dog Gamer. I'm Leighton. If you like our content, please remember to hit like and subscribe. It really helps our little channel. Today I want to get dirty. Yes, I'm losing all the track races that I normally play like Gran Turismo and Assetto Corsa. I am seriously into rallying. Roll the credits! Yes, it's true, we've ditched the tarmac this week and we're going off-road and having fun in the dirt. Talking of dirt, Dirt Rally 2 is one of the games that I've played for a long time, and I've always been into Dirt Rally 2, but it was always kind of my second favourite racing game. Tarmac was always my first choice, but just lately I'm seriously into rallying games, and Dirt 2 I think is one of the best ones still to this day on the PlayStation or Xbox. It's one of the best games you can buy. But today we're looking at WRC9, which is kind of the newest one to the bunch. WRC has always been a little bit more arcade, less sort of intense when it comes to physics, a little bit sort of simple, but WRC9 has massively impressed me. It's recently been on offer on the PlayStation Store, and you can still find it quite cheap on eBay and certain places such as CD Keys that are offering discounts on the game. But the big question is, which is the best, Dirt Rally 2 or WRC9? Well, to be honest, I'm not going to make you sit and look at the whole video to decide. There isn't. They're both very, very good games, and I enjoy both equally. Let's take a look at some of the differences. So the first game we're going to look at is WRC9. As you can see, you get all the locations: Argentina, Portugal, Italy, Kenya, Finland, New Zealand, Turkey, Germany, Wales, Japan, and the nice sort of thing in this game is you feel like you get a full rally experience. In Dirt Rally 2, which is what I've normally played, the tracks are kind of scaled down and it's cut down, whereas in this you get the full-on location points. And the cars on WRC, I think you don't get anywhere near as many cars as you do in Dirt Rally. But you get all the ones that are in the 2019 championship, such as the Hyundai i20, Skoda Fabia RS, Citroen C3 R5. Being honest, none of these modern cars get my juices flowing like the vintage cars in Dirt Rally 2, but it does come with the Legends cars, look, where you get a few. You get the Lancia, you get the Alpine A110, Ford Escort Mark II, RS 1800, which I adore, Lancia Delta HF Integrale, the Toyota Corolla 1999, that's a DLC car, but you don't get anywhere near as many vintage cars as you do in Dirt Rally 2. But here we go. Now, you'll often hear criticism on this game that the cars or the physics of the cars aren't as good, it's more arcade, and it's not. This is still a really good simulator. It is by no means arcade. If you turn all the sort of traction off, I nearly lost it there. If you turn all the traction off, turn all the assists off, you will get a really good simulator experience. It's probably not as deep as Dirt Rally 2, but nevertheless, it's a really good game. The lock on the wheel is, I think mine's set at 380 degrees on my Thrustmaster, and on the wheel, this game, it feels really, really good, and somehow this game feels more fun than Dirt Rally 2. And I think sometimes what's really sad in the sim racing community is if a game isn't hard, then it's instantly dismissed. And this game is definitely more accessible than Dirt Rally 2, but that doesn't mean necessarily that, it's not hardcore sim. You know, it's really good fun. As you can see, I am by far from the fastest rally driver. And there we go, use that handbrake there, spin round. Everything's on manual, including window wipers and everything. I have to manually switch your window wipers on this. There is no option for auto wipers like there is in Dirt Rally 2. Let's swap over now and see what Dirt Rally 2 looks like compared to this in the same car. So here we are in the Mk2 Escort in Dirt Rally 2, and straight away you can see that the car feels like it's been given more love. If you just look at those vintage dials, it just feels great. And this is the PS4 version, there's no PS5 version, unlike WRC9 where that was the PlayStation 5 version I was playing. But the graphics on this easily equal, if not beat, the graphics apart from water. The water looks a little bit dated, but I think the graphics on this game are just brilliant. The sound is too wide. The sound in this game I think is best in class. It's just, you hear every rasp of the exhaust. Oh, you're using the handbrake. I'm using too much handbrake. And when you switch from WRC9, like I was just playing, and then you put this on, the car feels more loose on the loose sort of surface, and it's definitely more tricky to handle. The physics do feel deeper in this game, definitely. But oh no, I wasn't listening to my co-driver there at all. It's really difficult to talk and rally at the same time. But this is also rear-wheel drive, obviously this car, and rear-wheel drive on loose surface is really difficult. That was really slow. Should have used my handbrake there. But the game is just brilliant. It's so difficult to choose between these two games. There's no question that the stages on World Rally Championship 9, WRC9, are definitely a lot better than Dirt Rally 2. They just feel more complete, and they feel more interesting to drive. You can just drive them over and over again, and they're just an absolute joy to the stages. Whereas the stages on Dirt Rally 2, to me, just feel some of them are a little bit repetitive, and I don't know how to describe it. It just feels a little bit more, I guess, repetitive. I guess the stages on WRC9 feel more alive. Let's check out another stage on WRC9. So here we are in Argentina in the Escort once again, and you can hear as I take off on this stage, you can hear the stones rattling under my car, and I've lost that feeling of looseness that was sort of all around me on Dirt Rally 2. The car feels, where I point the car, it goes, you know, whereas you tend to sort of lose that on Dirt Rally 2. But the car does feel more agile, and the brakes feel so much better. And I have to say, the brakes feel more realistic on this game than on Dirt Rally. So there's sort of pluses and minuses on both games. I do love this game. It is so much fun. This is a great stage too, Argentina. I think this game feels faster. And as we approach and head down this straight,
left 4 into right 2 for right 3, tightens, keep in.
but definitely the historic cars feel a lot better on Dirt Rally 2 compared to WRC9. But is that enough to convince me of the game? To buy the game? You know, if I had to delete one of these games from my hard drive forever, which one would it be? And that is the question that I'm trying to answer. I have to admit I have more fun on WRC9. I think I prefer this game overall, despite the fact that I love the car choice on Dirt Rally. But actually sort of doing the stages is much more fun on WRC9. But they feel, considering it's sort of the same sort of genre, the same sort of style of racing. Whoa, that was a close one. Considering how, you know, obviously it's the same genre, same sort of style of racing, the games feel so different, and they are different, totally different games. But I have to say, I think WRC9 is my favourite, and that's solely because of the stages, the rally stages. They're just so good, absolutely brilliant. Let's flip back now and have a look at Argentina on Dirt Rally.
Left opens 50. Keep right of a jump maybe into 6 left. 30. Slow 4 left.
So here we are back on Dirt Rally 2, and we are in Argentina, comparing the two games. And I've had a bit of a break between the two games, so I feel like my driving is a little bit better, because the experience is so different on these two games to drive them. The car feels so much looser. Oh, nearly lost it there. This is definitely more challenging, but as I've said before, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the better simulator. Personally, I feel that, you know, the steering isn't quite as sharp, and I've been lucky enough to sort of drive a rally car on a loose surface. It was a Subaru Impreza, but I know how sharp the steering is on these cars, and you know, especially you really notice on tarmac on Dirt Rally that it just doesn't feel right, the tarmac on this game. Whereas the tarmac, whoa! Whereas the tarmac on on WRC9, it feels spot on.
5, 4,
Restart.
3, 2, 1, go. 34 left opens 50. Keep right of a jump maybe into 6 left.
You have to appreciate the graphics on this game. The graphics on Dirt Rally 2, considering how old the game is just, you know, it's a 3-year-old game, 2019 I think, so 2-3-year-old game. The graphics are just fantastic. It feels like a PlayStation 5 title rather than sort of a last generation PlayStation 4 game.
60 over bumps, caution, 1 left, unseen.
And I never really heavily played this game much when it first came out, because I think I was playing Project Cars 2, I think, at the time when this was released, and I was really into that game at the time. So this was always my second choice as a racing game. But as I say, this past week I've been putting some serious time into both games, and you know, I forgot how much I love this game.
3 left long tightens.
But if I had to pick one of them, just one between this and WRC9,
Keep left over 30. Caution, don't cut.
I've got to say I'd probably go for WRC9.
Left into unseen, 1 right small cut.
We can have a look at the options on both games, and there's a couple of things you can do to tweak the setup that I'd like to show you now. So here we are on the options, and the only thing that I change really, I turn my force feedback down because I just don't like a strong force feedback when I'm playing for hours on end. But the steering linearity, I turn down to -2 or even 3 in this case on some of the older cars, because it just gives a feel of the steering feels sharper, and basically it basically means that you won't have to turn your wheel as far as you normally would for the car to turn sharper, and it will just give it a sharper feeling, a little bit more like I'm experiencing on World WRC9. And so that's one of the changes that I make, and it just gives it that sharper feeling to the older cars. So to finish off with today, I just had to go back to WRC9. And if I had to pick one game out of these two very similar games, but they're so different in different ways, it would have to be this one. The career mode, I've not touched on the different modes in the games, we're just purely kind of looking at the driving today, but the career mode is a lot deeper on WRC9 compared to Dirt Rally 2. Dirt Rally 2's career mode, you kind of jump about from sort of different areas and you don't kind of do the whole rallies, whereas I feel that the career mode, oh no, big mistake there. The career mode on WRC9 is really in depth. You build your team, it's basically almost stolen from the F1 series of games. It's very similar. You've almost got the RPG elements to it, that you update your cars and upgrade by upgrades and upgrade your teams, and it's really in-depth detail. You can spend hours and hours on it. And overall, I think just the overall experience, literally by a gnat's whisker, goes to WRC9. But both games are just absolutely brilliant and definitely worth playing. I've really enjoyed sort of playing on the rally games and getting back into it. I'm definitely not a rally driver, I'm more tarmac, and of course we'll be featuring the normal sort of tarmac asphalt racing games that we normally do on the channel. Hope you've enjoyed our content. If you have, please remember to click like and subscribe. It really helps our little channel to grow. I'm Leighton, we'll see you next time on the Droopy Dog Gamer.